Okay, let's play the Fry. I think I'm going to go down the Magus, down a Hearse, because we'll probably bring in Fries against those matchups. Could a Totem? 2 is probably a good number. So you just got a Totem. Yeah, Fries we can kill Draneth Magistrate, which is very, very good against us. And then I think it makes sense as the card, because like Jeskai Control is playing it. That's where we got Draneth Magistrated, and this seems to be the only card that kills Magistrate and also can like do something else. And the something else is killing Teferi, which is also kind of a problematic card for us. So it seems good. So let's do another league with the Fries. Woo! I love hands like this that are probably a mulligan on the play and like the nuts on the draw. Seen today on Sam combo. Maybe I'll put back the amulet or pitch the amulet to the caverns. Three Wildgrowth Walker. No, laggy, waggy. What do you do about Soulless Jailer? Yeah, maybe that's the reason for a braid. Well, we can figure it out, you know. You may just have to be weak to these cards. At risk of making their deck better, should Boros play Gemstone Caverns? They have a lot of generic pips. Probably should. Turn 1, Amped Raptor, Detectives Phoenix. Your turn. Ooh, Cathartic Pyre. Deep cut. I kind of like it. It actually seems great. Should every deck play Caverns? Not every deck, but I think more decks should play it than don't. We'll see. I mean, like, we'll see. Fry might still be better, but I like that suggestion a lot. My one regret is I can't stomp the Dryad Arbor because I need to stop the Somalia. Glad we added these Fries, too, for this matchup. It's kind of funny. With very few turn 1 plays, wonder if you can play Oliphant. I just said this, but you could not register Oliphant and Amped Raptor in the same deck. Or you should not. It's just bad deck building for the most part, I think. Second Amalia. Basic Forest. Birthing Ritual. Great hand from our opponent, too. Gemstone is questionable in an aggro curve-out deck. Is it? I feel like it just seems great, if I'm going to be honest. It just seems, you know, it's just a colorless land. I guess it's kind of tough on the games where you want to go, like, Guide Pride and it's your second land if you're on the play. You have a lot of 2-drops. I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. In a Flage deck? Yeah, I think it seems fine in a Flage deck. Like, it taps for the front half of Flage, and you very rarely escape Flage with exactly 4 lands in play. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like, when you're escaping Flage, you usually have more than 4 lands in play. So, like, I think you can afford 1 colorless land in Boros, probably. Obviously, there are downsides, of course, you know. Certainly the case. Gemstone is worse if you have a lot of 1-drops. I mean, if you're on the play. If you're on the play. I don't know. To me, it seems kind of nice. Like, it also lets you turn 2 Blood Moon against Titan on the draw, which, like, that seems pretty important. Is Molly a modern, not a meme? It's playable, yeah. I mean, like, we've done a lot of work on it, and specific, like there's a few different ways you can build it right now. So you can either do what our opponent is doing and play Cauldron Familiar and Viscera Seer and kind of meld the Sam Cauldron Familiar Viscera Seer combo with the Amalia combo. And there's a lot of good overlap with like Gilded Goose and Sam, Gilded Goose food for Amalia combo loops, Cauldron Familiar starts the combo loop, and then when you like surveil your whole deck into the yard, or sorry, explore your whole deck into the yard with Amalia, then you get to combo kill with Sam if it's not good enough. Oh, we won. Great. And then so you can do that, or you can do what I've been doing, and you can play Guide Pride instead of the Sam combo. You can have a higher card quality, a worse combo plan, but a better beatdown plan. Also, the Amalia X Sam something is something that we were working on. I don't know how long ago. This I guess actually right before MH3. Right before MH3, that was like I think a nice innovation we had. I do know how long ago. Yeah, just a few different ways. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the toadies. I'm gonna bring in the fries. Let's cut the thrashers, and I think I'm gonna go down on phoenixes. Why don't you build the deck and show us the plays? Amalia? We played Amalia on Saturday. On Friday? Friday. We've played Amalia, I think, multiple times post MH3, a lot pre MH3. We had Breakout in a build that was kind of interesting. I guess the league we played with Amalia was just in between rounds of the challenge. We haven't done like a real stream day with Amalia yet. But I'm also not sure if it's better to be a more combo deck with Sam, or just a higher card quality deck with Viscera, with Ocelot Pride and Guide. But the build we had with Ocelot Pride and Guide, we were also playing Rumble, and we were playing Rumble so we could fill up our graveyard and then return to the ranks for like a little bit more aggressively. And I did like that take too. All right, keep this. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put this into play. That was a misclick. I meant to surveil here. I guess that's what I get for goofing around. Sorry about that. Last goof of the channel ever. Would Unholy Heat be cheaper than Fry in our Delirium deck? So we do not want to play 1-drops, so we can always Marauder into Rhinos is my current plan. But you could play Heat. Following this line of reasoning, and Burn should play Gemstone. There's a lot of words and numbers to why Gemstone isn't. No, and so Burn shouldn't play Gemstone because they have potentially 8 double red 2-drops. You have Searing Blaze, you have Eidolon. This also Burn is like a combo deck that needs like critical massive draws, like critical massive cards, versus Boros, which wants to be on board as quickly as possible. And like Boros also has like many more generic pips in the casting cost. Boros is a deck that is very different from Burn, so I would say that I just disagree, but kind of a fun thing to argue about, honestly. But to me it seems like 1 Gemstone Caverns in the main of Boros and maybe 1 in the sideboard too could be optimal. I'm just gonna Boseiju their Birthing Ritual here. The next turn go Cash Grab Marauder. Oh, shucks. Nonbo found. So I guess I should have rumbled last turn. No, Party Thrasher can't cast Footfalls. I don't know what people think it can. Sorry, I guess because it's in the deck. But it's just kind of a good enabler curve smoother in this deck. Yeah, Burn basically has 0 generic pips. I mean, you have like Rolling Vortex, Skullcrack, but Boros has a lot of generic pips. Now, Cursed Totem stops Sam combo because it stops Viscera Seer. Does not stop the Amalia loop, unfortunately. Okay, it can be the Sun Cleanser. Also, they still get their Sam. They get their food still. Getting fed. What does Boros replace in the mana base? A fetch? Sure. I don't know. So like it's a lot easier in the ring builds and the 24 land builds, right? Where you just have more flex spots in the lands, and I think that Gemstone Caverns would make a lot more sense in the ring builds because it also lets you cast the 1 ring on turn 3. Wow, that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit worse in the non-ring builds. Okay, so we lose. They're gonna sack the clue. Okay, sack a clue. Team 3 does not seem like a very good matchup. I think I've changed my mind. I want Phoenixes to kill them quick. Let's go down to the amulets, especially because we brought in extra artifacts for Delirium. I like this hand. So 3-mana vehicle with flying crew 1, 2/2 flyer crew 1, enters, exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or left. When this leaves the battlefield, exiled owners manifest dread. A very interesting card. Very interesting card. Well, pretty not ideal, I guess, for them to have the swamp when I'm trying to cheese them with the Blood Moon, is what it is. I do think I want to, like, stomp Sam or Amalia this turn, or Viserys here, if they don't give me another target. Shock, 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 shock. Come on, you need Temple Guard in here. Yes. So that stops my Raptor, my Amulet. It's kind of okay. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile, so I guess occasionally. Oh, it also stops the Phoenix Bestow. And it stops my Cascade here, Suspend here. We do lose the Stomp, but this going to the yard does make my Phoenix a bit easier to collect evidence. Fry can't hit Jailer, but a Braid can. Yeah, I guess that's enough of an argument. I'm just kind of like embarrassed to have a Braid in against Jeskai without Fry, but maybe that's it's probably a good enough argument. All right, now hopefully this Blood Moon solos them. That would be great. Maybe a little help from Jegantha and Phoenix. Every time I play Blood Moon, my opponent they naturally drew this, they naturally drew this, they have 3 basics in their deck. Every time I play Blood Moon, this happens. I don't understand. Why is Blood Moon not this good against, or not this bad against me? Yeah, Blood Moon glitch. All right, Fortune Clock. You don't got a lot of removal in your deck, probably. Good luck. I don't know if I paid out the 4/1 Gamba. It looks like I didn't. It's not like they fetched around it either. Right, doesn't change the clock. I'm down to 14. But it might still be good, right? Obviously, we're cutting them off of all their green cards still. Can't cast this. Phoenix Stompy. No brain, just turn him sideways. Does Soulless Jailer stop their cat combo? Yeah. Yeah. It does. I think I still was playing one. You can sack. The thing is, you can just sack it to Viserys here if you're doing the cat combo, so it doesn't really matter. All right, got there. Yeah, keep this one. It's been kind of nice to, see this card again to some extent. An old friend, an old nemesis, but playing it now and the coolest shell ever. Yeah, we played Phoenix and Shadow. I thought it was kind of good there. If you could play like 8 Street Wraiths in that deck would be really, really good. Can't play Oliphant with Amped Raptor. I'll just periodically just say that every 5 minutes. Or jump into the Shadow deck. You can maybe play in the Shadow deck. But it's Street Wraith is just so much better. Street Wraith is so crazy because it works with NT Shadow and Phoenix, where Oliphant is even kind of awkward with NT. It's like our second or third time we just mill only lands with Cash Grab. Get 4 looks, you know. You just have Bowmaster here. I think that the Blood Moon gets worse every turn we wait on it. Oh, let's just cast it. It will probably be countered. Raised the 47 months. Thank you so much. We got the House Spread offering. Awesome. Congrats. I know it's a very stressful time. If I had one piece of advice for home ownership, what would it be? Walk around naked as much as you can to assert dominance over your neighbors. It's a big cultural thing here in Texas. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to try to bestow Phoenix here. I want to bestow it into a Rhino next turn. When we first moved in, there were no blinds on the windows and no curtains. And I'm sure all of our neighbors got a pretty good view. How do you feel about a double block? A double block would say you have to discard 3 of your 7 cards, and we lose both of these. I think we'll just a single block here. Discard 1, please. Okay, clings the Phoenix, gains 3 life. You don't want to trade your Amped Raptor for 2 cards? I don't think so. I gotta race the Amped Raptor. So I get to attack for 8 here. It's close though. Is it Spell Pierce? Consider. Looking for a force. They should have considered on their turn to try to find a land, right? Put Preordain into their graveyard. 2 Rhinos into play. Not going to brick on this, of course. You have to say that real confidently, too. Okay, a lot of juice here. Let's take another Raptor. Now we are probably supposed to bestow rather than play another Raptor here so we can get in for 8. I'm going to get a basic mountain since we saw our opponent has Harbinger in their deck. Now let's get rid of a Rumble, Cash Grab. They didn't have a Force Negation earlier. Man, this is sick. In the words of Childish Gambino, who I am no longer seeing tonight because he postponed his concert, vroom vroom, we're racing. Obviously I'm happy he's, taking care of himself or whatever, but I've been even judging time, like how many days away from this Childish Gambino concert am I? That's been my entire framework of time for months now. And we'll see him eventually. I was so excited though. Alright, 6/6 Merc. The frog that is pretty likely to stay on defense, I guess. 4 cards in their hand. More rhinos. I think we have more rhinos in the deck. Did I? Okay, I was worried that I top decked my last Crashing Footfalls for a second. Bro, you've overcooked it wholly. I'm trying. Steel Field Siemensberg, I was a fine whole card. His exile for mana seems perfect for modern. I strongly disagree, but that's okay. I think modern has been so much better since they banned that stupid card. So do I want to stomp the frog to make them discard two? I don't think so. I'm gonna stomp them. Oh, I guess now I'm stomping the Murktide. They're doing this trick. Not only was when Siemens Spirit Guide legal, not only were there four different decks that could either win the game turn one or could cast an Emrakul to Aeon's Torn on turn one because of Simeon Spirit Guide. We also never experienced Temur Rhinos with Simeon Spirit Guide. That was not a deck you ever had to play against. And but you did have to do Cascade Tybalt, which is the best modern deck of all time, largely due to Simeon Spirit Guide. Oh, are they gonna? Oh, can they say? I guess if they have three more, they just discard three. Wow. Am I dead? I guess I'm dead. I guess I'm like not even Xaxie's dead. Oh no, I'm not because my Phoenix is back to block. Doesn't seem like I should have much reason to suspend this. I could discard the to Party Thrasher, maybe. You can block the frog. Oh yeah, because yeah, I can. The exile right now. That's a cool trick though. But yeah, I think if people had experienced Temur Rhinos with Simeon Spirit Guide, in addition to all the decks that could win on turn one with it, I don't think really anybody would have been uh saying yes, let's unban. Okay, so my opponent it can block two Rhinos, and then this is right now they're taking six. Uh 6 + 6, 12. So they have if my opponent has two fatal pushes as their last two cards, we lose. Let's not play around it. Did they block bad? I think they played perfectly, right? I'm not sure what they could have done different. Fries are better in this matchup, as far as the Braid Fry convo goes. Whereas if you hit Rhino with Raptor, you get to cast it and you get 2 extra energy. It's not something we've done today. So we did it one time. Did it last match. Just think if I want to play a Hearse over the Blood Moon. Let's play one Hearse over second Thresher. Is the Amulet worth it? It's been good. It triggers off of Raptor, Marauder, Phoenix, Adventure from Exile. So there's a lot of incidental triggers for extra damage, and it's also an artifact for Delirium. I have definitely felt like it is correct to include so far. I may want to get Forest Mountain because of Harbinger of the Tides. One Bowmaster would have been a loss too, right? Would it? Maybe. We'll play a Thrasher. Not very good against push, but if our opponent has to discard 3 cards to kill the Thrasher, okay with that. Looks like they have a Subtlety in their hand. What's the record for today? We 3-2'd our first league. Now we're 1-0 up a game. You do the math. If only we could turn back the clocks to 2012 modern. Honestly, you can. Like you nothing is stopping you from like saying, "Hey guys, let's have a 2020 or 2012 modern night. Come on, bring your favorite deck from that night. Let's relive the glory days." Me and my friends do that sometimes with Return to Ravnica Innistrad Standard because that's when we all started. Ooh, double frog. So hopefully we can go Rumble into Marauder. I agree, Jed. He is very, very, very talented. Oh, sorry. I thought I had to leave. Let's just go again. Let's just go. Shame game 3. Too busy chatting about Gambino. Saffron was thinking about doing a video about what modern look like without image stats. I mean, I know Doomwake does these pure modern tournaments every once in a while. I don't know. I don't know what it would look like. The thing is, it's like, I don't know that you can even answer that question with a video. Like, you know, as with peace and love to Doomwake's tournaments, like, these lists are, like, usually look really untuned to me. And so, without, like, a serious, like, tournament brackets and, like, lots of eyeballs and brains on it, you never really know what a format's going to look like in, you know, Christmas land or whatever. You can have an idea. On the play for game 3. Gonna keep this. Do you think there'd be tons of Tarmogoyf, Lilianas, and Snapcasters? Nah, probably not. It would look very different for sure. I like one thing is no Flame of Anor to go with Snapcaster. No counterspell to go with Snapcaster. It would be pretty different. All right, so we did this earlier. We're just going to suspend, and then next turn we can go Rumble plus Marauder. We can also Surveil here. I need 2 today for like a lot of 2-1s. Not sure. Why is Gemstone Caverns still in on the play? I mean, you could go down a land maybe, but just we have 1 copy in on the play. It's pretty common with Gemstone Caverns to leave it in on the play as a colorless land, so you still have a good ratio of lands and spells. I'm gonna keep this on top and hope that they don't have spell snare, I guess. You know. Yeah, I would imagine Amulet Titan's probably the best deck. You do lose Ring and Saga from the deck. We still have Dryad, Valakut, all that juice. So if I take Amped Raptor, I've got Delirium for days. Phoenix in the yard. Hopefully don't top deck the last Footfalls. Shielded probably wouldn't be very good in Modern with no Ring, no Necro. See, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting combo. I would probably play Belcher. I've said for a while, if I was going to play a Doomwake pre-Modern tournament, I would be pretty happy to just register Belcher. Okay, so let's start off by attacking for 11. Do you think we should go down 22 lands? I don't think that, no. I think if you do, you should play the 3rd Thrasher, but I think 23 is where I'm at the moment. It could change. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have played this because I could hit Rumble or Cash Grab into a red source. I hit a Fry. It's funny. Maybe just let's go Marauder Phoenix here. Although I can bestow Phoenix on Footfalls next turn. Gore's probably still alright. Yeah. Yeah, Gore's probably is. So you don't have Ephemerate, but you know, you don't have to pit Evoke Incarnations or the pitch spells, but is there any double face card on tap land that could be a weird type to the grave or mid spell need? So the problem is like you kind of need to play all 2s and 3 drops on your curve. So I don't know if there's one that fits that requirement, and you would really like to limit your 3 drops because you just have to have good hits off Raptor. Oh, Anviltron, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, maybe one day I'll join a pure Modern tournament. I do think it would be cool if they would like have like a kind of special constructed queue. You know how like on Magic Online they do special limited queues all the time with like flashback draft sets, flashback vintage sets, and they have done flashback constructed. I think it'd be cool if they like flashback to old formats, or they have like, hey, we're doing pure Modern queues. We're doing, you know, we're gonna make up a format. We're doing pre-Modern queues for a bit. Just try a lot of stuff, and just like maybe one of these things ends up being popular, and you could have it be just a permanent queue. I think that could be fun. More Demir. I don't know what Abhorrent Oculus does. Oh, that's the new 3-mana 5/5. I don't think that card's very good, honestly. But it could be okay. Just a little clunky wonky. Gonna force negation me? Seems like they're thinking about it. Is pre-modern an official format? It's not an official format. It's something that a good amount of people play. I think for the most part, it seems to be a format enjoyed by people who have a lot of nostalgia for like that era of Magic. But for me, that was a little bit before my time. Ugh. Not a very good flip there. So I guess we'll go ahead and see if we can find like a cash grabber rumble. Okay, I think I like this since this is going to get me pretty close to Delirium if I just chump the frog. I think Force Main is good for these control decks. Yeah, I don't think it's mandatory, but I think it's pretty good. Not that we've played against it today, but like for the last like week or two, Through the Breach combo has been super duper popular. That's 2 types for Delirium. Another double frog draw. These draws are, that's the nuts right there. So we're going to try to surveil into type number 4. Fingers crossed. RDev creature, I'm going to go ahead and I guess just cast a Bonecrusher Giant. So if I blocked here, they'd have to discard their whole hand. But then that's probably just fine. They can also just fly the frog. I think I have to take the hit. I'm not really enthused with this, to be honest. He did just beat Dimir Frog, but it seems like we're pretty behind this game. This Raptor resolves, and we can hit a Rumble or Cash Grab. That would be nice. Instead, it gets countered, and we are going to play it out, I guess. We should have attacked for 4 first. Should have, for sure. Yeah, these like double frog hands are just always so tough. Almost doesn't matter what you're playing. Alright, let's go to game. Game 2. So we're on the place. We'll go down to Caverns in this. We're going to bring in the Fries again. Down to Thrasher. In a Hearse. Out 2 moons. I like moons because typically they don't have swamp. No, our opponent's playing Bloodstained Mire, which means that they do have swamp. And that they are playing Harbinger of the Tide. Some builds don't, but if they have Mire, it's a tell that they do have swamp in their mana base. Bitter Reunion over Thrasher is interesting. I like Thrasher a lot. Reunion could be better. I haven't cast Thrasher very often today, for whatever that's worth. Something to think about. We already have haste enablers with Phoenix too, is another thing. Wouldn't Fable just be better? I mean, 3 mana is just kind of tough. Like I think we're already kind of maxed out on 3 drops in our frog deck. With 7. Pinned on Frog and Dredge. I mean, it's something you could test, but I just don't know exactly what it would look like. It was pushed to kill the Milo and did cast it, yeah. Not that it's necessarily, the biggest, it was good for me, also better last night. Mention that they graveyard this Deluge. Looks like they are potentially land light. White Totem in the sideboard. Yogg has been kind of popular in leagues. Like, if I was going to play 10 matches of Modern, I would, at the moment, expect to play against Yogg at least once. That hasn't happened today, but we did play against Sam combo, where I boarded in the Toadies. And it seems like a good enough reason to have him. I was probably supposed to cash grab in response to the Preordain. Don't get spell pierced or snared here. Well, we didn't get pierced or snared, but we are missing a type. I guess, sorry, I should just grab the district itself. I think I'm going to try to surveil for Delirium unless I draw something else instead of casting Bonecrusher. Okay, drawing this will just Raptor, of course. Yes, they're stuck on 2 lands, it seems. So let's just surveil right now. I don't know what to do about this. Okay, so I think the plan is now leave this on top. Cast Amped Raptor. If it resolves, we get to cast Blood Moon. If it doesn't resolve, the next turn we can cast Blood Moon. Cast Blood Moon, and if it gets countered, then we have Delirium and we can cast Bloodbraid Marauder. Graveyard it, don't be greedy. It was much more complicated than Graveyard, don't be greedy, but it's also like this card, if it resolves, is very likely to win us the game, so let's maybe keep access to it. I'd love to see them get a non-basic here. They put a Delta in the yard, which is kind of interesting because they don't have another land. Okay. That was probably just wrong, right? So let's, before we cast this Blood Moon, let's surveil, and then maybe we're going to use the Footfalls as a bait spell if we find Delirium here. Still no Delirium, so potentially this will give us Delirium if this gets countered. The bad outcome here is this gets Force of Negation, and then we can't cast the Blood Moon. Incubation Incongruity is okay. I don't think we have enough creatures for it to hit consistently enough. You can't play Cycling Glasstalk, or whatever that card is called, either. Okay, so they do exile the bad ending, I guess. And then they draw 2 with Charm. Interesting. Play a frog, 5 cards in their hand. A little flooded too. A little flooded. They're not thinking about this attack, are they? That was so weird. It's just thinking about getting very aggressive on the discard, discarding Bowmasters and Deluge. Likely a little too aggressive. I guess if they have a Murktide, maybe not. Looks like they do have a Murktide. Okay. I think this maybe 2-1 against Dimir today. If we lose this. Another land. Okay. I yield. I think we're 2-1. We might be 2-2 against it. Feel good? I mean, it hasn't felt that bad when we've played it earlier today. I think that we got very flooded that game, and we could have played a little. We could have graveyarded the Blood Moon, and then like would we have just have won the game if we had done that? Maybe. I don't know. I think like the games where they have double frog are certainly particularly hard. If only Sudden Shock killed like Drannith Magistrate, then that would maybe solve a lot of problems for a deck. But Sudden Shock as an answer to Frog, I think, is pretty cool. Or 1 Yogg in 10 matches, maybe. Yep. Graveyard and Yogg. Hopefully they don't have a Cauldron. And hopefully we hit a Rumble or a Cash Grab here. We have a lot of those in the deck. Instead, we hit a Blood Moon that we can't cast. Uh-oh. I do think I'll probably bring in the 4th Blood Moon against them, though. Let's try to cheese them. Although, I don't know. They've seen Blood Moon now. Maybe that is just too unlikely to work. Not exactly right on time. Why did you not cast that Raptor? I did cast Raptor. I revealed Blood Moon. I didn't have enough energy to cast it. I was thinking that Fanatic of Ronus would be kind of interesting in the shell. You have a lot of 4-power creatures between Bonecrusher, Rhino tokens, but between giving Bestow. But it's and you can also like mill it over for value, then eternalize it. But it seems like the 4 green mana is like kind of lost in the deck, although you do have Jegantha. We have played it in shells like this previously though. So one thing we've been talking a lot about Yogg lately in general. This may sound kind of blasphemous, but I'm starting to think Grist sucks. I don't know that it is good against any deck, and it's really weird with Birthing Ritual. Not that you have to be on Ritual, of course, but I don't think that it's good, and I also think that it is bad. I don't know. Does anybody feel this way? Am I alone? I might be alone in this. It's good against Dimir. Can be good against Dimir. I think it's probably good against Dimir, yeah. Actually, probably Phoenix from hand. Exile Bonecrusher for sure. Then Amped Raptor Cash Grab, and I still have Delirium. With Cauldron, it's amazing. It's good in like some very slow, grindy games, but with Cauldron, it's like I think it's just slow in a lot of matchups right now. But sure, it's good with Cauldron. It's good, but I just think the Cauldron Grist thing is a lot worse than it used to be. They're list with 1 Grist, yeah. I kind of feel like 1 Grist is maybe where I would be. I'm not sure. Why from hand? Because okay, if we want to leave this Phoenix in the yard so that our Marauders can have Delirium so we can maybe go land Marauder, or we can maybe just Moon into Marauder. With Rumble, it makes it more consistent. That's true, yeah, that's true. I think it's gonna be good this game. Awesome, Tommy. I do of course still like that deck. But I just see a lot of Yogg lists playing 4 Grist. It seems too much. Okay, so we did draw the interesting card here, which is the land to give us the option to either go Marauder or Blood Moon with plus Forest. Marauder is 22 points of power in play. But it does make it kind of likely we just get combo killed, right? Maybe what I should do is Surveil to try to put another card in the yard so I can go Marauder, Bestow, Phoenix, attack for 10 next turn. Yeah, I think we're just too likely to get combo killed. I'm going to Blood Moon. Downside to mooning first? Well, we just give our opponent a whole extra turn with Cauldron plus Grist plus Yogg as the downside to mooning first. Another upside here maybe is that they have Boseiju in play already, so it's going to be a bit tougher for them to deal with this. Although they probably can Chord from Might. Natural Basic Forest. I don't understand. Like the amount of times our opponent just has the basic in the hand with is so insane when I cast Blood Moon. Just every single time it feels. If they have Chord, giving them mana means you're definitely getting combo killed. No, because they would have a much harder time like casting Wolf, Cauldroning the Yogg, and Chording for Blood Artist, right? Not as tough a time with this basic forest that they have. They need a second Young Wolf, don't they? Wow, they're proliferating? Okay, this is not going to be that... I like that they're taking this line, because it's just not going to work against this in my hand. In this case, they were incentivized to not play it since they knew about the moon. I mean, that's true, but it's just like... that doesn't change the fact that they just naturally drew it again. You know? It just keeps happening. They just naturally draw, like, basics with my moon. It's okay. They can make 11 insects here? No, they can't make that many. They can make, like, 3 insects. Unless I'm missing something. It would be... If I draw a land and they kill my raptor, it's kind of good. Seems like I guess they might still. They should probably do it after I attack, though. Yeah, I guess we'll just go to combat. Oh, you're talking about sack the young wolf and then reset the young wolf to the Yogg, then plus. Yeah, they could have made a lot more tokens. Also don't think they. I guess they did plus both grists. Sorry, I did miss that line. Was talking about thawing. If you have blood moon, what punishes you according to the answer? I see. That's okay. No worries. Proliferate Gristalt next turn. Yeah, I guess that's good. They'll just do that. Yeah, I guess we're dead. Alright, Grist is still broken. I take it all back. We'll make sure they see the line. It's not like the most standard, but I think that that was their plan, probably. I'll just go to the bathroom real quick while they do this. Your friend firing spike. Seems they did see the line. Now, Rhino's historically a good matchup against Yogg, although it seems dynamics have changed. Bonecrusher seems kind of bad against them. Now, Hearse is kind of good to check a Cauldron. I died to Ballista Cauldron? Okay, good to know. Makes me want more Hearses. They're just two or three. I think we're just gonna go more in on this, and might not be right. Let's try it, building it this way. Could also go down on amulets because we're bringing in a lot of artifacts for Delirium, but I don't hate the amulets here. I just don't think Bonecrusher is very good. It's good against exactly Delighted Halfling. It doesn't really do much against any other card. Is Yogg coming back? Yeah, I think Yogg is like a pretty good deck. You know, I haven't been playing it myself. It seems like something maybe I could be working on. I think the big question mark is Yogg good against energy? I don't really know. I think that it probably has a pretty good energy matchup, but I have not played either side of it or really seen any gameplay. So I could be wrong, but I think it probably, if it is favored against energy, like I suspect that it likely is, then that is a really big deal. I'm going to go to 5 here. Okay, much better 5. It is not a good matchup. Yeah, so if it's not, if it's kind of simple, right? If it's not a good matchup, if I'm like wrong about that, then Yogg is probably not a good, not as good. But if it is favored, then it is very exciting. I felt unfavored coming from the energy side, but not by a lot. I think if energy has bombardment and stuff from the Yogg side, I think that's good point. Yogg is not favored. The incidental life gain is super annoying, so it makes it much tougher to combo. Because I would think you would mostly just get to a spot where you like Yogg and kind of control the board, but maybe that's tough. People say energy matchup's bad. Yeah, good feedback. Thank you, everybody. If we look back at image 3 tier list, you still see Raptor as S tier? Yeah. I feel like it's almost like clear too. It's like Raptor is crazy. I think I'm gonna try to high roll here also. Not the best without Delirium. But yeah, Raptor is like, I think you could make a really good argument that it's the best card in the best deck in Modern. I don't know that I exactly would say that, but I think you could make a really good case that Raptor is the best card in. I think it's like almost definitely the best card in Mardu, or maybe I should say I think it's better in Mardu than it is Boros. It's very, very good in that deck. All of your best draws involve Raptor. Yeah, it's close. It's close. I'm not saying it is that is the case, but I'm saying you can make a good argument that is the case. For me, it feels very S tier. Although, of course, there's a lot about the tier list that was off. Because Raptor can find a Johnny. I mean, Raptor into a Johnny is better than just a Johnny. It does feel like most of the bullshit draws out of Boros involve Raptor. Like, oh no, they just turned 2 Raptored Blood Moon, I've lost, you know? There's some other bullshit too, but that is a big chunk of it. I don't think Flage is even the top 3 best cards in either version of Energy. I agree. There's been like a lot of like Flage dramatic converse. I don't know how I would phrase this. A lot of people are very dramatic about Flage as a card. And Flage is good. Flage is absolutely good. But I think it is a less important card than Guide, Pride, and Johnny Raptor for the energy package. Between Mardu, Boros, Murktide, your pick. Mardu, Boros, Murktide, your pick. Like how succinct that question is. I think Blood Moon is pretty important right now, so I play Mardu. I think that the Dimir Frog decks are so bad against the best deck in the format. I don't like them that much. Amped Raptor is powerful, but I don't think it's a very compelling design. Well, new buzzword unlocked, compelling design. I don't know exactly what you mean by this, but yeah, it's okay to dislike Raptor. Think Mardu is better than Boros. No, I think Boros is better because like Titan is on a comeback and like main decking Blood Moon is pretty important, like against not only Titan but also the various Eldrazi shells. I think most people's issue with Flage, it kind of kills the aggro decks that don't play Flage themselves. Well, I think this is kind of silly of a thing to say, honestly. It's like, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, the best deck in Modern is an aggro deck. It plays Flage. Like, Modern has been kind of devoid of aggro decks for a while, and it's kind of interesting. The best deck in Modern is a creature-based aggro deck. I also don't know that Prowess is unplayable. It's probably not very good, but I don't know. I usually kind of hate these arguments. They're like, this aggro card or this aggro deck kills other aggro decks. But like, yeah, it's like there's gonna be a best aggro deck in Modern, and that's gonna be the one you're gonna have to play. Like there's always gonna be one best aggro deck, one best control deck usually, and it's like tough to justify playing a worse aggro deck than the best aggro deck. So I usually don't think it's a very good argument. You know what I mean? Was Reblex scam an aggro deck? I would usually... Okay, we're gonna get out of this one. Also, we're playing an aggro deck right now that I think is pretty fresh, although it hasn't been like the craziest ever. Like it's always been the case. Like if Prowess is better than Burn, there's not much better reason to play Burn over Prowess, and vice versa. If Hammer is better than these decks, if Scales is better, so just I don't know if I'm articulating that very well or not. Agree with that one. I think against a Flooded Strand, I'm just gonna hope to not break off my Raptor. Maybe I'll hit a Crashing Footfalls. Okay, you don't hate hitting another Raptor with the Amulet in our hand. We had a good aggro deck dominating right before Image 3. I understand this is a bit of a puzzle. What deck are you referring to? Let me see if I can think. If we're talking about Scam, like Rakdos Scam, that was not right before Image 3. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. I'm sure you're talking about something, but I just don't know what. Leyline Zoo? Sure. That deck is still very good, by the way. But yeah, sure. Although that deck did kind of fall off towards the end of image, pre-image 3. Domain Zoo. So here's one thing about Domain Zoo is once everybody starts cutting Ragavan, the stupid Bloomburrow 2/1, Bowmaster, they start playing Guide Pride to Johnny. I think they'll start winning more. But I think Domain Zoo is actually a really good deck in Modern. Like maybe one of the more underplayed ones. It's kind of boring to have Eternal format that only has one deck of each archetype. I mean, there are more decks, but it's like this is like how every format is. Like if there's a best aggro deck, like aggro decks feel like a specific niche, and it's hard to really make an argument that you want to play. That there's always going to be a best version of these kind of archetypes. It's a bit different for like mid-range combo, big mana. Like these archetypes have like more pros and cons because they're trying to play around different interaction and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense either. Let's try another red source would be nice. My opponent finds an unholy heat off of this trainer. This is going into 2 counters, right? Yeah, 2 counters. They would have played the amulet. I don't think it's very likely to resolve, but ugh. I think Party Thrasher is just a good enabler. It helps you like loot away extra moons. It helps you get delirium. It lets you double spell. I've not resolved or like had too many in play today. I also updated Wizards. We'll play that at some point soon. Put a bauble. Yeah, looks like they got some Drakes in the deck. I don't think I've really died to Arena of Glory Drake, so it could be a good time for that to happen. See some of that in action. So why don't we stomp this? I want to bestow Phoenixes onto my Rhinos next turn and attack for 12. I guess I should play around Spell Pierce. But I was trying to play around Flare. Bonecrusher is ring meta. Bonecrusher is not only ring meta, it's like kind of the only removal spell we can play with our deck building restrictions. I'm gonna get flared, it looks like. I mean, there's often can be the aggro deck that's good versus control, an aggro deck that's good versus something else, something like that. There doesn't seem to be one best aggro deck. Sure. But this is a little bit more rare, and usually one of these things is just going to be more suboptimal. It's obviously kind of reductive, I agree. But also, you know, Domain Zoo is a good aggro deck. There is more than one good aggro deck in the format. And like Domain Zoo is the aggro deck that's better against combo decks because it can play better interaction. And it also is better against Boros because Leyline Scion's pretty good against Boros. I don't know. A lot going on in this modern format, huh? Well, I was not expecting that to resolve. Let's go for lethal and stop rambling so damn much all the damn time. Phoenix is so good against these like blue decks. Yeah, Bonecrusher should also go with the amulet. I would decide what to copy with Flare of Duplication. We have played a Flare of Duplication deck. We played a Flare of Duplication Goblin Grenade deck that is getting buffed in Bloomburrow, by the way. Well, let's hope they don't have a second one of those. Get rid of second amulet. Yeah, every new set is just Bloomburrow. Bloomburrow was so good. I loved Bloomburrow. Or I should say a third one of those, huh? I'm playing First Rescue Season. I'm playing Through the Breach. Yeah, Through the Breach I think is great. That deck is very, very good. Okay. It's not so bad. Was I supposed to play around Crackling Drake? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm not dead. Maybe I was supposed to play around it. Yeah, the mono red monkey artifact creature. So I mean, I guess it doesn't work with Goblin Grenade, but you could be more in on like Shrapnel Blast, which is something I wanted to do, but I thought there was a lot of tension. Whoa, where did that come from? Top of the library, I guess. Just not expecting another flame. So I have 1, 2. I can collect evidence one more time. This is going to take some time to tick down too. It does feel like we're kind of getting set up for a big Crackling Drake turn. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guess I'm not dead. So if they go Crackling Drake, they put me to 1, and then I have lethal in the crackback. So I think I should play the Phoenix. Whenever you draw a card, what is wrong with blue-red players? You cannot have 2 Arena of Glory and have any number of Teferi over any Crackling Drake. Shame on you, Sven. 5 mana, 4 loyalty. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Teferi. -2, put a spirit token. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter. Blah 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 blah. Did I count the spell pierce? I thought I counted the spell pierce. That homie is good though. No chance, right? Come on. This card costs 5 mana. Excuse me. So I don't really care if they counter my Bonecrusher very much because of evidence collecting. Upheaval is legal in Modern, yeah. We are going to die to a Hasted Drake, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. They have to have it, though. And they have to not crack a fetch, but I don't really know why they would. What's the best Ugin Slab deck in Modern? Through the Breach, probably. Or, like, definitely. So they reveal a counterspell. I can beat a counterspell. I can't beat 2 counterspells, maybe. Spike, a new video for new set. Yes, we will do one, but is the full set out yet? I thought we were still waiting on some cards. We still have probably like 2 weeks till the set comes out. 2 weeks, yeah. Okay, so now I can bestow a Phoenix onto a Marauder, and even if that gets yeah, we actually just win if that gets countered. Oh, sorry, no, not countered. No, for some reason I was thinking bestow would still resolve. Never mind. Also, when does this come down? Next turn. I guess. Whatever. Is your last card another counterspell? You've already used 2 flares, 3 counterspells. Why do you like Through the Breach deck over Utopia Spell Ramp version of Eldrazi? I think it's better against Boros. Just like very good against Blood Moon. Gonna be a close one. My opponent drew 2 bolts. Well, game. So to play Fry against them? Yeah, I guess so. Her's kind of bad against Flame of Anor. Honestly, actually, sorry, oh, sorry, my brain for some reason told me I boarded out my Thrashers. No, I did something weird because I. Oh, there. Okay, there's the caverns were together. Never mind. Don't. Just relax. We're gonna play one hearse because I don't want to have any moons. I think. Yeah, Drake would have been a lot better than Teferi there. Why Fry? They're playing Crackling Drake. They also have these 5-mana Teferis in their deck. Fry is like an answer to Tomio. Tomio's pretty good. In general, we have Fry because Draneth Magistrate's pretty tough to deal with, but they should maybe be a Braids because it hits Magistrate or Soulless Jailer. Two kind of popular cards. Alright, on the play. These cards are good in the matchup. I have 5 lands, though. Let's go to Mulligan. Give me back the 7, I guess. Okay, this one's actually pretty dang keepable. Let's put back a Rhinos and an Amulet. Yeah, you could play 1 Ren and 6. It's kind of like not... It's kind of off plan. It's kind of slow. Pretty sure I should Rumble instead of Raptor so that if I hit Marauder, I can get Delirium. It's just like a little bit more awkward in these counterspell matchups. That is a nice little unmulligan there with the Surveil the Phoenix into the yard. Love to see that. And then let's grab a Delirious Marauder with the ability to play Marauder and Raptor next turn, potentially. Nice. Another Marauder and another Raptor. I'll take the Marauder. And then I think we could I guess I'll sack the spawn so I can suspend this, but we have another one in the hand. We want to play around Graveyard Hate, and this is a 2-for-1. They're going to counter the Rhinos, but we still get the 3/1, which is pretty good against them. Not a bad mold of 5. You can't play Carnosaur because of Amped Raptor. But I do like the thought. Not a bad turn. 5 power through a counterspell. Gonna go Marauder plus Phoenix next turn. There you go. Consign to memory. How much evidence do I have? That's 1. I can double. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'll just go cast Marauder, let them consign the trigger, then bestow 2 Phoenixes onto 2 Marauders, and attack for 10 in the air and a 2/1 first striker. I'd like to submit this evidence to the court. Roll the 5. Game 3. Don't think we'll need to Boseiju much. I want a Gemstone Caverns, 7-card nuts. Yeah, Phoenix is so good. I was not a believer for a long time. Yeah, we managed to dodge the 5-mana Teferi that game. Played around it by killing them on turn 4. Please spike up one of my points and me winning. I'll try. I do think this matchup's probably pretty good. Fury and Modern. That's a Fry. Alright, keep Phoenix might be better than Rag in Domain. Phoenix may be better than Ragavan in Domain. Well, I mean, in that deck, you maybe have a hard time collecting the appropriate amount of evidence. But there are no shortages of cards that are better than Ragavan and Domain Zoo. You can play Guide of Souls, also Pride of Johnny. There are a lot of cards that are better than Ragavan. Although, I mean, Ragavan is also... It is better now than it usually is, but I'm still, you know... If Ragavan has no haters left, I'm not on this earth anymore. You initiate 18 months. Phoenix on Amulet sounds sexy. Yeah, just probably the wrong Phoenix, you know what I mean? That sounds like it'd be pretty cool. Ragavan's a red permanent for a Johnny. I mean, you're not really dying for red permanents, but like I usually don't love this argument because it's like you have other red permanents and Ragavan is just pretty bad against energy, and energy is the most popular deck. It's just kind of like not rocket science. Would it make any large changes? I don't think I'd change the main deck a ton. I would maybe main deck some counter magic potentially. Yeah, I don't think I would change a lot. So kind of unfortunate to hit a Marauder with no Delirium. Still 2 mana, 5 power. Domain doesn't have many red permanents, 4 Leyline, 4 Kavu. That's about as many as like Boros plays. But also, it's like the whole red permanent for a Johnny thing is so weird. Like, have y'all not been playing a Johnny this whole time? Like, a Johnny is just fine without. Wait, what? Also, what the hell? I'm gonna lose a Cemetery Gatekeeper here. Like a Johnny has been like just so fine without red permanents like this whole time. Like, what are without that many red permanents? You need some. But you don't need 12 in your deck for a Johnny to be good. You don't need any even. A Johnny is playable with no red permanents in your deck. Is this a wizard? No, just a vampire. But don't listen to me. I'm getting smashed by Cemetery Gatekeeper here. You wouldn't listen to someone who loses to Cemetery Gatekeeper, would you? I mean, certainly banking on this cash grab resolving, and this is, you know, it takes some damage. Get a mountain just in case they have Harbinger. Never know what's going to happen next. All lands. It's happened a lot. Oh my gosh. And then, sorry, this is also not I should have cast the Raptor. I'm just like so focused on this Delirium. This is Delirium, and then I get the Rhinos, but we bricked really hard on the cast grab. Well. And then we get Arena of Glory Draked anyways. Wow, a hasty Snapcaster Lightning Bolt. Beautiful. All right, a little bit of a misplay there. Okay. 5 and 5 on the day. Not amazing. Pretty interesting take though. Kind of early draft. Think you could evolve the deck some. But I think it's a pretty cool shell. It is also the kind of deck maybe that like we can get like one more like really good card that meets the deck building restriction, we're in there. But pretty nice. The deck pretty good today. Maybe you do want to play one less land. Not sure. I think it's gonna be all for me today. My throat is kind of scratchy. I can feel the losing my voice coming in, and